Like, subscribe, and follow This Is Truly News, and do it today, please. Like, subscribe, follow, and that way we can keep doing this. Okay, honestly, we'd keep doing it anyway, but it would be nicer if you like, subscribed, and followed. Okay?
Yeah.
In that order. Like us first, subscribe second, and then follow us. Carry on, my wayward son.
This is True, Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
There was a guy who would go in once a year or so for checkups. He'd had surgery on his foot and it needed to be looked at regularly. My dad was his surgeon. One day, this guy comes in for his appointment and says he isn't feeling well. He thinks he might have gotten the flu from his kids. No big deal. Unrelated illness happens, right? Well, he was talking to my dad before he took his shoes off. He was beaming. Yeah, I fell pretty hard and gashed my foot open the other day, but I fixed it myself. Saved a trip to the hospital.
No.
He had taken.
No, it's not going to end well.
Copper wire and sutured the gash shut. It had been a week, and it was
Wait, my foot is hurting now. Thank you.
been a week, and it was badly infected, and that's where his flu-like symptoms were coming from. If he'd waited a few more days, it'd have killed him. Dad took the copper sutures out and dressed the wound because the skin had degraded too far to sew up properly.
Yeah.
Dad prescribed him antibiotics and referred him to the hospital for observation. The man ended up spending $3,000 on his care instead of $200 for stitches in the first place.
Shrewd. That's a business move right there. If I may get personal, my pastor's name is Robert Lawson.
Hi, Rob.
His son, Rob, is Robert Lawson.
Okay.
This story is not about those Robert Lawsons.
Okay. Just had to make that clear.
This is a Florida man. After a consensual search, everybody knows what that means, right?
Yep. He said, yep, go ahead, search me.
Police said, can we? And he said, sure. 50-year-old Robert Lawson was found to be in possession of a methamphetamine and a syringe. Makes you kind of wonder about the consensual part. The smoking gun reports that Pinea County deputies approached Lawson as he was loitering in a park. They found the drugs. They found the paraphernalia. Lawson, though, immediately demanded that they call the FBI and the St. Petersburg police because, quote, I'm allowed to carry methamphetamine. This is actually the police report.
What, does he have a permit?
I don't know whether they actually called the FBI or the St. Petersburg police, but he is in county jail, $2,100 bond.
With no methamphetamines.
Not the brightest tree on the bulb, I'm saying.
Fired. An assistant at a psychiatric hospital took his first person he was to take care of, to a shopping center and proceeded to spend 250 pounds on their debit card buying electronic goods for himself, which he then brought back to the hospital and asked for them to be stored in the staff room until the end of his shift. Left shortly thereafter with the police. I got fired from my first day at a paint store.
Did he have those pretty bracelets on?
Oh, yes. I followed the formula exactly, but the resulting color didn't match the sample. They fired me on the spot in front of customers, even though it turned out to be the supervisor's fault for not having updated formula specs he had received from the manufacturer. You're fired for making me look dumb.
Boy, if you could do that in every job, I never would have worked.
Had a kid who came into the shop and his first day of night shift, they couldn't find him.
Were they working on the night shift like the Commodores?
Yeah. The night shift. Well, they did find him after a few hours, by the way.
Okay.
He cleaned off a shelf in the parts room and was sleeping on it.
It was an accident. There was this empty shelf, and
And finally, I walked into a job interview just as the HR lady farted. It was a small office.
And a large fart.
With no windows. I asked her questions about their employee retention rate that she couldn't answer. The fart stayed for the duration of the interview.
Yep.
I hope the fart got the job because I didn't want it.
And then I died.
Tony?
An unnamed 64-year-old woman, this is from Fox News. An unnamed 64-year-old woman in Gastonia, North Carolina, you'll understand why she's not named, was charged for firing a gun within city limits after officers arrived and found her shooting at Mountain Dew cans in her backyard, in city limits.
That's a lot of times they have trouble with that, you know.
Like only always.
Yep.
Unless you're smart and have a 22 with a suppressor. Not that I would know this personally, but it's stories I've heard. You might wonder why she was doing such a thing.
Why was she doing such a thing, I wonder?
I'm glad you asked. She told the officers who had the same question that she didn't approve of her father drinking the soda.
So she was shooting full
Cans
Dew
of
cans.
Dew. We totally understand that not everybody is a fan of the Dew, but we cannot stress enough how dangerous this is.
Right?
It was so good they even put it on their Facebook page because, you know, otherwise cans of Cokes would be in peril. I'm pretty sure Dr. Pepper would be extinct.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And those, by the way, might be the best commercials on television right now.
What if she found any tab? You're going to have to Google that.
You know, if you shot it at containers of Tab, that would probably get you jail time because I'm thinking not only are they an endangered species, but they might be a historical landmark.
For those of you who don't know, Tab was Diet Coke before Diet Coke. And
Yeah,
it was
and
hideous.
It wasn't hideous. It was just awful.
Okay, fine. It was awful.
Your taste buds would actually walk outside your mouth, look at you and go, what the hell?
I actually
They'd all be standing right there. All of them.
Yeah.
Even the one that has, even the little one with the bad taste on his jacket.
Exactly.
Even he wasn't having it.
Yeah. They punched me in the nose one time.
One time?
Mm-hmm. Well, considering the curvature, you'd think it had happened a few
One
more
time?
times. Yeah. It was just, well, they made a big fist.
Yeah, big taste buds.
Brawny, I call them.
See, that's what I name my paper towels, but that's a whole other story.
You would.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.